dear friends, so today I'm going to tell you a story from the festival time fairy tales. The story name is Gulliver Travels. Lemuel Gulliver was a brave and courageous English sailor. One fine day, Gulliver set off to the South Seas along with some sailors, and he and the captain of the ship of Marina. They had hardly traveled 2 days and 3 nights when they were caught up in a violent storm. Marina was wrecked in the storm, and all of the sailors drowned in the deep seas. By a stroke of luck, Gulliver survived the wreck and managed to swim away. It seemed to him that he swam endlessly, braving the stormy sea and the rough winds. Finally, the storm calmed down and Gulliver sighted land. Tired and weary, he reached the shore of an island. Extremely exhausted, he dropped off into a deep sleep. Gulliver slept for 6 whole days and nights on the soft sandy beach. When Gulliver woke up, he was shocked to find his arms and legs tied with leather strips. As he tried to move, the strips across his body snapped and broke. What a shock he got when he looked all around his body. Hordes of tiny little men were walking all over him. Strange little men were running hastily up and down the length of the body, trying to bind him against with leather strips. Gulliver felt like a giant in his new land of little humans. Gulliver questioned the little men. "Where am I and who are you?" They replied that he was in Lilliput and they were all Lilliputians. As he was a foreigner, he was their prisoner. The little soldiers bought him large amount of food and water and made friends with him. But they could not release Gulliver as he had to be taken to the emperor in the capital. They built a huge wooden platform on wheels in order to transport him to the capital. When the platform was ready, Gulliver was fastened onto it, and the long ride to the capital began. All the people of Lilliput lined in the streets to watch this fascinating big man. When they had reached the capital, Gulliver's leather straps were loosened so that he could sit up, but he was still chained and padlocked. Gulliver could hardly believe what he saw. Thousands of little men stood staring at him, including the Lilliputian emperor. The emperor was a wise and intelligent man. He knew that Gulliver would be of great help to the country. He was big and strong, and if he joined them, he could easily defeat the enemy, the Blefuscudians. The emperor offered Gulliver his friendship, and to show him off to the Lilliputians, he was asked to stand like an arch while all the important citizens paraded around him. What a wonderful sight it was! Then one day, the Blefuscu declared war. They readied their warships for battle against the Lilliputians. Now, it was Gulliver's turn to repay his kindness of the emperor. As he was so tall, he could see the Blefuscu warship in the bay across. At night, he quietly proceeded towards their ship with some rope. He then tied one end of the rope to reach the enemy warship and gathered the other end of all the ropes in his hand. With just one strong pull, he had captured the entire enemy fleet. Gulliver became the national hero and was honored by all the leaders of the land. The Blefuscu were humbled and wanted to make peace with the Lilliputians. The Lilliputian emperor refused a peace settlement and wanted to make the Blefuscu his slaves. But Gulliver settled their problem and with fairness and helped out to work a peace treaty. As a result, the Emperor of Lilliput began to mistrust Gulliver as the leaders of the country convinced the Emperor that Gulliver was a spy and the friend of Blefuscu and a traitor to their country. When Gulliver heard about this plot, he decided to leave Lilliput immediately. The Blefuscu had already invited Gulliver to the country as a reward for meditating with their enemy and settling their affairs peacefully. Saying goodbye to all the people of the Lilliput, Gulliver proceeded to Blefuscu. As he reached the boundaries of Blefuscu, he heard loud greetings and cheering in his honor. The Emperor and the Empress were all the state ministers had gathered to welcome him. Gulliver was received amidst the great rejoicing and was declared as a national hero. The Blefuscu were tiny, just like the Lilliputians, but very friendly and loving. One fine morning, as Gulliver stood on the shores of Blefuscu and looked closer towards the sea, he sighted a large rowboat. As he went closer towards it, Gulliver was thrilled to see that it was the same boat which was once part of his ship Marina, now wrecked in the storm. Suddenly, he was homesick. It was over 2 years since Gulliver left England. On his request, the Emperor sent thousands of men to repair the boat and to prepare it of Gulliver's travel to his homeland. The boat was loaded with enough foodstuff and other supplies he needed for the long journey to England. Finally, it was time for Gulliver to bid goodbye to his good friends. The Emperor of Lilliput once again invited Gulliver to their country, but Gulliver politely refused, taking leave from him to go back home and advising him to keep friendly relations with the Blefuscu. After a few days at the sea, Gulliver sighted a large ship which was sailing from South Seas to England. He hailed it and finally reached back home after 2 whole years to relate his interesting adventures to his family and friends. The end. I hope you like the story and please like and subscribe to our channel to watch new videos every day. Goodbye.